Dan, I have been waiting all year to tell you what I'm about to tell you.
I can't wait. I've been waiting all year for you to tell me.
All year I've been waiting to tell you. Happy New Year, Dan.
Happy New Year. Yes, indeed. 2026 is here.
It's a new year.
Yeah.
It's a new year and a new Dan.
I'm just glad we made it through all of those things that were going on way back in 2025.
Yeah, it just seems like it's just been like over a year ago since the new year started. But here we are.
Yeah, and I can remember last year like it was last week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Vivid. Yeah. Yeah, I said our last episode, I am not into New Year, whatever. But I have probably have written 4 invoices by putting 2025 on them instead of 2026.
Uh-oh.
I'm one of the last ones to adjust to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's always tough. Always tough to remember if you're writing out checks and invoices. But I know that you mostly just cash the checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know, Dan, that you have made a lot of resolutions with that revolve around your Prius that you drive every day, and spending even less on dinosaur fuel. But I'm just wondering, other than your electric car, what else is out there that you are looking to make some positive improvement on for the new year, Dan?
Oh, I actually have not really formally made my list. I have a couple
No?
things kind of tossing around in my mind, but nothing major. I mean, one thing I do need to get a better solution for is some storage in my wood yard for the small
Yeah.
mini firewood. Yep.
What's the problem that's making you think you need to change?
Um, they have 4 legs, a tail, and furry, and they like to eat cheese
Oh, wow.
and make nests in
Yeah.
small firewood.
Oh, boy. I would think, my problem when I used to keep an inventory of bundled firewood, these 0.75 cubic foot bundles of firewood, my problem were the cats. These, we live out here in the country. These stray cats come around, pee all over everything.
Right.
And man, once cat pee gets on it, that's it.
Oh, that's I don't know what's worse, and that's what everyone was telling me when I was mentioning that this mouse problem that I have. They're like, "Well, get a couple
Yeah.
cats," but then it's like, "Well, you get a couple
Yeah.
cats, and then you have the same problem."
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know, we left the garage door open one time, but I had cats that came in and I'm smelling cat pee. And just, gosh, I can't stand that smell. It's almost as bad as oak firewood. That's how bad it smells. If you can get your brain around that, Dan. Yeah. But I go out, I was like, where in the heck? I'm like, where's the pee at? They peed on my barbecue chips, right on the bags. It's like, gosh.
Get that
Killing me.
brisket ready, smoke it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I soaked up all of the cat pee off those plastic bags with the mouse nest that they made from the stuffings of my truck. That they climbed up inside my truck and chewed out my seat.
Yeah.
They made their nest in my wood chips, and the cats peed all over them.
Yeah, so that's one of the issues I want to try to solve for. Nothing huge, nothing, no big goals. Just I want to get a little better controlled and contained storage environment for
Yeah.
for the mini firewood.
What do you think you can do? Like those totes they sell at Target and Walmart?
No, I'm thinking a little bit more of like one of those like pre-built sheds, they're like 10 by 16 with like windows and that are sealed up good. Or like I was thinking storage or shipping container, but that's a little too I need some airflow to get through it. So I don't want to, seal it up, but something just more confined. I don't know, contained.
Well, I'm here to tell you that the mice would love it for you to buy that little shed. No matter how much you have it sealed up, they're getting in. Now,
What?
I will say this, yeah, come on. These mice can go anywhere. One little crack and they're in.
Well, there wouldn't be any cracks though.
There would. You'll open up that door 100 times in a month, and a little bit of wood where it's going to get worn away in the corner, and that's all they need. They're in.
Uh,
Now, you mentioned shipping container. Um, I have the full size shipping container, and I have not had anything. I haven't even had a spider get inside of one. But don't worry, because there's air vents in them, Dan, but they're sealed up. You can't, there's nothing that can get into them. I would get the shit. They sell like short ones, half-sized ones.
20-footers. Yeah. Yep.
They are worth every penny, and they're easy to get. Might be a little challenging unless they can get back there with a trailer to drop it off, but you can also rent a bigger machine and just push it around like that to get it in the final resting place.
Yeah. I'm continuing to look at all my options.
Uh-huh. Well, the mice would love it for you to get the shed.
I don't know. I think I could keep them out because I would still have the greenhouses I use now. So they would still have those areas to live in. And I might not put this shed in the wood yard. It would be more or closer to the house. So it wouldn't be like in the same exact location. So I don't know.
All right. All right. Well, keep us up to date on that. I love projects like that. I love projects where I can spend other people's money.
And what about your list or non-list? Did anything
Uh,
come into your
yeah,
mind?
I am not. I've said this before. I am not into New Year's. I don't like these resolution things. I understand them though, like it's like a good psychological place just to draw the red line and start anew. I've never even attempted. It's just not my thing. And I felt real strong about that until 2 days ago. And now I believe I am ready to make a resolution for the new year.
Oh, oh my.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my resolution is I am looking you right in the eye right now, Dan, and I'm saying I am done reading all of these user groups on Facebook. I'm done. My mental health can't take it anymore.
Wow, that how will you get by?
How will I get through the day now? Gee
Yeah.
whiz. Yeah. I just okay, before we get started, let's just say this though, Dan. Welcome everyone back to the Woodhounds podcast. My name is Joe, and I'm sitting next to my good friend Dan. I, of course, am a internationally recognized elite high quality firewood delivery service. And Dan here is
My mom's favorite hobbyist.
yeah, Dan is a hobbyist.
I'm just a hobbyist.
Yeah. But we say that though, but you're not. And that's what, you care enough to keep the mice out, potentially the cats out of your product. You're selling product all over the United States now. So you have shed that role and you're a professional, Dan.
Yeah, but I like to keep that title.
Yeah.
Otherwise we won't have
Okay.
anything to make a jingle for,
Yeah. Yeah. So again, let's, thank everyone for coming back for another exciting year of the Woodhounds podcast. And this new year though, I'm telling you, Dan, I'm done with these firewood community groups on Facebook. They're just ridiculous. Serious.
Well, they are a little out there, but it's all in perspective. Like you have to look at it and wonder, when you read some of these people's comments, when you look at some of these posts, doesn't it make you think, wow, that's the competition out there?
I think so. Gosh, there was this huge fight over this guy. I don't know who he is. He was just the most he was just offended that the customer was wanting the wood stacked when it got delivered. And I mean, it wasn't just one of these things like, no, I'm not able to do that. It's not part of my service. Or here's my fee. Are you good with it? It was like his attitude was just so opposite of what you would think is known to bring good customer relations, repeat sales, an ability to increase your price per cord because your service is more valuable than what it used to be. But like he's excited to demonstrate to everyone just how big of a jerk he could be to a customer. It just makes no sense.
It doesn't. And I think part of the reason people do that in those groups is they want all these other people to like reassure them. Yes, that oh, you're correct. You're doing the right thing. Yeah, no problem. Screw the customer. How dare they
Yeah.
demand stacking firewood? That
Uh-huh.
stuff.
Dan, I believe that we all have a strength, more than one or just one, something that we're just good at. It's what we do. Like we could be good at painting or sewing or baking or building stuff or doing paperwork or like you playing the clarinet. There's just there's just
Yes.
skills that we all have. And some people are really, really good at the human element. You see that with doctors, what they would say bedside manner. And then there's some doctors that's like, they're just like a brick of concrete. They have no personality and they can't relate or get their patient to relax before surgery versus the people that are people persons. It just seems to me if you hate, and I know hate's a strong word, but when you read some of these comments, they just hate other people and they hate the customers, then why are you in business selling stuff to the public? Why do you put
Exactly.
yourself through this angst? And it's just, they are so angry and so enraged that they have to express themselves to to the world on Facebook, Dan. What is going on? Why do people put themselves through this?
I don't understand. I don't know. I do not get it. And I think, like I mentioned, the majority of them do it for the reassurance from others. But then in that light, it's like, why aren't there more people in the firewood industry willing to just stand up and say, buddy, you're in the business of customer service. And
Yes.
that is part of customer service. Like you're
Yes.
only bringing the reputation of firewood down by doing what you're doing. Like you're not
Oh
improving anything.
gosh. Yeah, I don't if I were looking for firewood to buy and I stumbled upon that, I would probably think twice about ordering off of him. Yeah.
And that's
It's
yeah,
yeah.
that's the problem is that the reputation of buying firewood, it has a certain stigma to it because of people like that. I mean,
Yeah.
whether they're getting shorted of the quantity or the quality, there's a reputation out there with firewood for well, this is one of the reasons why
Yeah.
that it brings the industry down.
Yeah, there are guys and gals out there that can make us all look bad. It was almost like I'm having flashbacks to when I was in auto parts. Okay. So selling auto parts is your biggest customer base are the DIY customers, the people that are trying to fix their car themselves in the garage versus taking it to the pro.
Yep.
And, a lot of the people that we hired at the auto parts store were or are still mechanics, people that work on cars themselves. They're knowledgeable about all the systems and they can sell the auto parts. Well, there is that gear that has to be shifted. If you're a mechanic and then you start selling auto parts to the DIY customer, you have to be able to relate to a customer that may have limited skills, but they're willing to give it a try. If you can relate to them and be patient with them and break things down at a level that they can understand, you're going to succeed in selling auto parts. And that, believe it or not, was a problem that we had when hiring people, when they were mechanics and stuff, and they weren't there to serve the customer. They were there to stand in judgment of them. And we would have people that worked on our parts counter that would get into it with um, customers, and they're encouraging them to not do the job, because they don't know what they're
Yes.
doing. And
Right.
that's not why we're here. That's not why we have this big open sign on the front of the store. And it seems like that's the way it is in firewood. People buy firewood, Dan, because they can't make it themselves. They don't want to make it themselves. They don't have the time, whatever. So it's a service industry, and they're looking to buy it off of someone. And then you, Dan, of all people, forward me a video of a firewood guy screaming into his phone, doing a video like he was proud of this, and he said the F word how many times, and just expressing his outrage at this customer because they were too, I don't know what, they were too needy for him.
Yeah. He could not understand why why they would be asking for the wood to be stacked.
Probably because they didn't know any better. I don't know.
Right. Oh yeah. It's like, well, I don't. Why would they? I wonder. And it's
Yeah.
just, and it just goes to so many levels of like what you see out there. And again, part of you can look at this and say, these are all the people out there selling firewood. That's the competition. I mean, if I lived in that area and I was selling firewood, I would love seeing him be, be someone,
Uh-huh.
because I would just try to find out from him where all his customers were, and I'd just go and you know
Yeah.
take them.
Well, put yourself in the customer's shoes. For instance, my customers, most of them haven't bought firewood before. And, you start looking around and then you stumble upon this guy. I would think, nah, I think I'm good. I won't be ordering any firewood because, that's to them, that's the industry.
Yeah.
And, until you can, and that's where the whole thing with my whole business model was making sure that I am identifiable and you can distinguish me from everyone else. And we're overgeneralizing here. There's a lot of good people out there, a lot of good services that deliver firewood. But even if this guy refrained from the anger and from the cussing, and I mean, what the heck, putting it online, you know, he still had this attitude about the customer that was just bizarre to me.
Yeah. I
Why
don't
is
get it.
he so mad at another human being whose only crime was they want to give him their money?
That is a great way to look at it. Yeah. What is so wrong with that?
Yeah.
And then
So Dan,
the other thing is that when guys like that do that in those groups, it's almost like then it becomes a challenge to other firewood suppliers. Like another guy will say, "Oh, well, you didn't stack it for your customer. Well, guess what? I didn't even dump it in his driveway. I dumped it on the street and told him to get lost." Like
yeah,
everyone gets into this challenge of who can belittle the customer better,
yeah, yeah.
which just is odd.
Boy, yeah. Especially when you're trying to make money.
Right.
Well, maybe that's not their goal. I don't know. Some people get pleasure out of that, but the bottom line is, the three most important things about running a business is sales, sales, and sales. And
But what about the taxes?
yeah, what about the taxes, Dan?
What
You raise a
about the
very good
taxes?
question. You raise a very good question here in 2026.
Pom pom pom.
Oh yeah. Well, Dan, that is so I want to thank you for giving me the resolve to make a resolution about what I'm going to do in 2026. And that is protecting my brain because I don't need any of this angst in my life, man. You know, it's like where I used to work. There's just some things when you work in an office, you got a bunch of people. There's just some things that you got to put up with, and there's
Yep.
always that one person in the office. I remember where I used to work. We hired this manager out of a grocery store, and he had a crew of like 200 people, and then our auto parts store had like a crew of 10. And he was saying it's just way worse than a group in a small store like that, because all it takes is one bad apple and it ruins your day. If you have a couple in a big store like that, like with 200 people on your roster, you can get them lost. But when you're in a small office environment and there's just that one jerk, and there's that one car in the parking lot that you see when you come into work in the morning, you just see that car, you just know it's going to be a garbage day because that person's here. And that's where I think, being self-employed, I only have to put up with myself. And yeah, I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, and it's just good. And then when you send me the stuff on these links to this garbage on Facebook, oh my God, it just tears me down.
Well, I'm glad that it inspired you to formulate a New Year's resolution. However, my other
Yes.
resolution is I was going to increase the amount of social media content I send you by 10x.
We are
So
at an impasse. Yeah.
get ready because
The
there's a lot of it
challenge
out
of
there.
2026. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Should make for some entertaining episodes, though.
Yeah.
I would normally say let's put the link to that in the podcast notes, but I don't. In this case here, I'd say no.
Nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
just picture an adult man with his brow furrowed and his face red. Um, he wasn't yelling, but he was talking very firm and very loud, and he was
Yes.
ticked off.
He was mad. He was not happy.
God, damn, jeez. Okay. Outside of that, I am looking forward to an exciting 2026 and another exciting year of the Woodhounds podcast. Another exciting year of good quality YouTube content. And of course, the International Firewood Expo 2026.
I was just going to ask, have you started the countdown? How many days until the International Firewood Expo 2026?
Yeah, well, it seems like it's a long way away, but it's like 6 months to go. Well, I guess 5, because it's at the beginning of June, first weekend of June. But it happens fast. I'm here to tell you,
Oh,
especially when springtime comes around.
it moves. Yeah,
Yeah,
time just flies by.
yeah. Oh, I had such a good time last year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to
Yeah,
be both the expo and 2026.
yeah. And the Woodhounds podcast.
Yes. We'll keep on going, and hopefully, but I think sometimes people might look at like this conversation today and say, what does this really have to do with anything at all? But I think maybe it'll just bring more attention to people out there that start paying attention and seeing things, and just wonder, like, how are these people doing what they're doing?
Yeah,
And if I'm doing the same thing, how can I do it better? Or I think there's a little value in it. I don't know.
yeah,
I enjoy talking about it.
yeah. It's just interesting to see how a person could be so mad over something so trivial.
Yes.
I don't know.
But then the fact that you won't see that, I don't think, in any other service industry. That's what's
Yeah.
so crazy.
Well, I still recall though, when I was a mechanic, I was a mechanic at Sears Auto Center for 7 years back when I was in college. It didn't take me that long to graduate, but I was there. Okay. I mean, there were a lot of weird and mad and different customers that would come in and out of your life, that were discussed at the dinner table. And I saw some of the most rude, angry, disrespectful people I've ever seen in my life as a mechanic. People with their
Hmm.
cars were weird, man. But it was all. But they're still the customer. There's still people
Yeah.
that you want to look at and scratch your head and like, oh my god. But they're still the customer, and I know while social media didn't exist back then, that if I had got on the Facebook and caused the scene, about customer X did this to me, or I witnessed this customer acting like this, they would kick me to the curb. You'd be gone, man. Where I used to work with in auto parts, the fastest way to lose your job was to disrespect the customer. You'd be out the door in 2 seconds.
Yep.
The one place I worked at, their slogan was, the customer may not always be right, but they are always the customer. And I think that
Ooh.
kind of sums it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we should maybe strike up the band. I got to get to I'm tutoring a clarinet ensemble later this
Yeah.
afternoon, so I got
Okay. little side money there for the woodwinds, huh?
That's right.
All right. Well, while you're teaching clarinet, I'm going to go out and break some rocks with a sledgehammer, Dan.
Ooh,
That's what we do down here in Ohio.
nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dan, how about then for the first time in 2026, let's strike up the band?
Yes, there we go. And thanks everyone for bringing us into 2026 as the #1 firewood podcast in the world.
Yeah, and thank you. And please, regardless of the streaming service that you're listening to us on, did I say that right, Dan? Please consider giving us a 5-star review. It does help. So, Dan, let's tell everyone out there to have a happy
New Year.
And get on the Facebook and scream about
anything you want. Everything you want.
And while you're doing that, have
a great day.